The best tone.
Flesh tone is the best tone.
Exactly. That's going to be in a rap song soon, if not already.
Copyright recurring Bosscast.
Hello and welcome to episode 12 of the Recurring Bosscast. I'm Jet from SplitKick.com. With me is Jason from Inside Gaming and Slick Gaming.
Howdy.
And Matt from Biff Band Pop and the Screaming Ego.
What's going on?
So Matt, last time we did this, you said you were living a very boring life. Are you still bored out of your mind?
No. Work's keeping me pretty busy, and I've actually had time to play some games, so it's been good.
Cool.
Nice.
Anything else going on with you?
Not a whole lot, actually. I'm quickly trying to think here. And
Matt's life's still boring.
Yeah, but as I said, playing some more games, so we'll get to that in the what you've been playing, but yeah, not as boring as last week, that's for sure.
Okay. Jason, what's going on?
Laura and I have our apartment all settled, and I bought my plane ticket 2 days ago. So
Nice.
It's official. We're going.
Wow.
April 12th, I'll be in California. So I think this will make this my second to last recording before I leave. So that's pretty weird. So
Wow.
We need to get the
Crazy.
leaving on a jet plane queued up for next time.
Exactly.
Man, I should have had... Maybe I will try and practice that song on the guitar. Or Matt and I will, play it at the same time through Skype. It'll just lag like crazy and we'll be out of sync. But
We'll do it like row your boat in, sections.
yes,
Yeah, exactly.
maybe. I've been practicing some other songs on guitar, though.
Nice.
Most recently, I learned how to play 22 by Taylor Swift.
Of course.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I've been trying to learn how to play a Taylor Swift song on the guitar for a while, but every single one requires a capo, and I don't have one of those, and I just haven't been to a music store in a while. And then I found out that 22 doesn't require one, and immediately started learning how to play it.
Gotcha.
So, it's just the palm notes at the beginning that are kind of throwing me off, because that's kind of one thing in Rocksmith that they don't do a good job of teaching you how to do. Particularly, the game says, we suggest that you should play these as muted notes, but it doesn't go far enough to explain how to do that exactly. So
Gotcha.
it wasn't until my dad saw me play guitar and he's like, you know what, you should probably try this muted note thing. And then he showed me how to do it, and I was like, oh, okay, that's how you do it. So my muted note game kind of sucks, but I'm working on it. I can at least play the chords and transition between them. There's only 3 chords, but it's a huge jump for me, so I'm very proud of that.
Very cool. We need to hear a
Well, we're
demo
proud
soon.
of
You
you.
need to release a tape soon. Cassette
A
tape.
jet mixtape.
Mixtape.
I could grab the guitar and just play it mid-show.
You
Yeah.
should.
And then switch songs randomly. That's the mix
Okay,
part.
maybe when we do the next episode and do the Leaving on a Jet Plane duet for Jason, I'll throw that in
Yes.
at the end.
You guys are the best. Always thinking of me.
Yeah.
Anything else going on, Jason?
Yeah, there's the flight, and then I'm getting everything organized for moving, which, like I said last time, it takes a long time, so next week I'll start packing everything. Laura and I are looking at a lot of furniture and stuff to add to our apartment. We've been perusing Craigslist, and by we I mean primarily her, has been perusing Craigslist, and there's a lot of good stuff on there, so it's kind of surprising. So we'll probably be picking up our some of our furniture there, but just getting ready to go. That's the dealio.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, most of my furniture came from IKEA.
Yeah,
I
we
think
think
most of everybody's
we think
furniture
if we
came
don't
from
find what we want on Craigslist, we'll probably hit up IKEA and kind of pick up some stuff.
So,
And should wrap it up there.
IKEA furniture is so hot. It
Yeah,
looks so trendy and modern, and
exactly.
the prices are good. But man, I can't stand walking through that store.
I know.
why?
It's gigantic. I can't remember exactly. I remember seeing a stat that it's like a couple of miles if you were to walk through the recommended path.
Yeah, which is funny they lay that out there.
Oh, and they intentionally do that so that you
Yeah.
see everything. And I just find it so annoying that they do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think now that I have my own place to live and actually need furniture and stuff, I end up going there more and more often. The saving grace is the meatballs.
Oh, except, yeah, they're not horsing around. Yeah, horse meat.
Yeah, I was like, were you going there? I don't know if that's where you're going.
Yeah.
Oh,
but you
wait,
went there.
IKEA meatballs have the horse meat too?
Yeah.
Oh, no!
But that being said, I don't know if it's Canadian IKEA. I think it's only...
Merkin.
Yeah. Sorry, Jason.
Maybe.
Well, it's okay. Strangely enough, the last one I was at was over a year ago. We went to the one in Minneapolis outside the Mall of America. And, of course you smell everything as you're walking through the entire store. So by the end, we were like, oh, we should probably get food here. But thank God we just decided to go anywhere else than eat at IKEA. So we dodged a bullet. I think what really turned us off was that you got in line like you were in high school and got like a tray to get the food.
Yeah.
So we said we're like 25. We're not going to do that.
You're too...
They have the obligatory bully that waits at the end of the line to flip your tray and knock all your food everywhere.
He's already got like, mashed potatoes in his hand to throw in my face.
All right. I guess some things going on with me. I had some board game nights.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
What'd you play?
we played some Munchkin. That is a game
classic.
that I got Steph for Christmas. It was our first time playing it. It took us a little while to figure out how to play. So we read the instructions, and I find that board game instructions always do a terrible job of trying to teach you how to play the game. So we ended up just going to YouTube instead, and found this guide, and within a couple of minutes, got it, and just played, and it was awesome.
Nice.
So, Munchkin, if you guys haven't played before, it sounds like, Jason, you have?
Yes. Which version did you have?
Just the classic.
Vanilla. Yeah,
Yes,
that's really good.
vanilla,
I loved it.
yes.
I think I have Cthulhu, and I think Laura has the Wild West and the Vampire one, and I've also played the space version.
Okay.
Ultimately, all the same game, but
Yes.
they're all pretty fun.
So, I mean, it's a game where each person is a character in this dungeon, and you're going through this dungeon trying to kill monsters and level up, and the first person to level up all the way wins. And I guess there's, different strength levels, and when you flip your cards, there's either a monster or not a monster,
Treasure.
and
Yeah, treasure.
and it was actually really neat. I had a lot of fun with that one.
Cool.
We played also Dominion Dark Ages. That's the new,
Classic.
I think, the latest version of Dominion, and this particular set of cards focuses on the game mechanic of trashing and upgrading, so throwing something out to get something better. We only played one game of it, and I don't know, maybe just the cards we selected, but they didn't really... I don't know, I didn't really get a feel for what they really could do, or we didn't really tap into their full potential. So, I mean, that's going to take some time. I also played some Ticket to Ride.
Nice.
Oh, I've heard of that. I think I've seen it on the shelf.
Yeah, that's the train game, and you build train routes, and
Right.
it's
right.
actually... I was surprised. I've seen that game before, and went like, this doesn't really seem like it's for me. But then my friend taught us how to play, and it was a lot of fun. And it seems like there's a lot of strategy there. We were actually playing the European version, and it actually made it kind of weird when you'd look at the card and it says, you need to connect the route from here to here, and because I don't know European geography all that well, it would just be like, what? Where am I going? And then
Where is this?
I'd totally telegraph my moves because I'd have to look on the board, like, nose up to where the places are just to see where I needed to go.
Nice. Not gonna lie, when you first look at that board, it's intimidating.
All the different lines and the colors, and once they explain the rules to you, then it's like, okay, let's go do this. And it's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of different ways to win. So.
Oh my gosh, this is confusing. Huh.
So how about some...
Even the American one is confusing.
Yeah, I would consider picking up a copy of Ticket to Ride at some point.
Cool.
For more board game nights in the future.
Nice.
So that was board game talk. Let's talk about some games and stuff. Matt, what are you playing?
I am playing... Actually, I spent all night right before this podcast playing MLB 13 The Show.
Nice.
I like it. I'm a big fan of the MLB games. I picked up 12 on the Vita, which may or may not have been a mistake. But it's good. I like them. They're probably the best baseball games. Oh, well, they are. They're the best baseball games out there.
Yeah.
As far as simulations go. But yeah, I mean, just really good. The graphics are good. The presentation's really good. It's fun, and they have Road to the Show, which is basically you create your own character and you go through the minor leagues, AAA, and then you make it to the majors and yada yada. Extremely addictive. Like I literally sat down at about 5:00 and I had to check my watch at 9:30
Wow.
to make sure I made the podcast. It's good. Some weird things like just I don't know. The crowds look absolutely awful.
Yeah.
At any angle. It doesn't matter where they are in the stands. Just terrible. Almost like an oversight, but it's sort of par for the course with the MLB games. They've been doing that for a while. But other than that, presentation's great. It's really, really fun.
Do you think that in next gen we're going to get better crowds, or they're just going to spend all their resources on making even better player models?
I hope so. I mean, realistically, if you could just remake this game exactly the way it is now, even maybe just a little bit better graphics on the PS4, but then just make the crowd realistic, it would be perfect. So, I mean, you're getting all this extra power, you could probably make the crowd better. That's really all I'm asking for.
So, important question as a
Yes.
Toronto resident. What is the team rating on the Blue Jays?
They are 5th overall.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a huge jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good, I would say. I mean, they've got a pretty good team this year, so.
Didn't
I'm
the
excited.
Blue Jays didn't they take away my Mark Burley from me?
They
Yes,
did.
they did.
Yes, they definitely did.
That's sad. He's a good pitcher.
Yeah. Are you curious, Jason, as to where the Cubs rank?
I'm a Sox fan, so yeah, I am curious.
Oh, right, yeah, Sox.
Sox are low, I'm sure.
No, they're 14th out of 30.
Okay.
The Cubs, however, 27th.
Yeah, that's right. That's generous.
Yeah, ahead of only the Astros, Marlins, and Mets.
The
So,
Mets.
There you go.
Really? After
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Marlins unloaded their entire team, they're still better than the Mets?
No, they're worse than the Mets, but they're better than the Astros.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh, Houston.
I don't know what the Astros did, but they need to stop doing that because they're now in last place.
Oof.
Ugh.
So,
Yeah, it's
But
starting
yeah.
up too. By the time this goes live, it'll be opening day.
yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, the city of Toronto is buzzing with the Jays. There's just so much hype this year because it's been a really long time since we've had a team worth cheering for. And
Yeah.
I think the city's ready.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Well, it's been literally since the last time we won the World Series, which was early 90s.
Yeah, 1993. So it's 20 years
Yeah,
ago,
1993.
and we have not won a major championship in any professional sport since. So
Nope.
people are keeping their fingers crossed that this is the one.
Yeah. The only time we've even come close was the Maple Leafs in 93.
Yeah.
So, well, that was even 93.
Yeah, I was like, that's the same year.
Not even
Same
close.
year.
Yeah. 93 was a good year for
Yeah.
Toronto.
Good year for
It's
Toronto.
been terrible since. I remember
Yeah,
Sports
absolutely.
Illustrated at a certain point said that Toronto was the worst city for sports because all our professional sports teams are under 500 for many
That's true, but
years.
the Argos are not that
Oh,
bad.
but who cares about the Argos? I
Wait,
know
what are the Argos?
CFL.
Yeah, Toronto Argonauts, CFL, Canadian Football League.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
The Canadian version of the NFL.
Hey, whatever.
Our balls are bigger
Yeah.
though.
Oh, yeah, they are.
I see what you did there. Let's keep this PG.
So, other than baseball, what else am I playing? I was playing, where are we here? Oh, yeah, right, Hitman. I got Hitman Absolution on the Origin sale for $12.
Oh, sick.
Nice.
So, couldn't go wrong with that. I've always been a Hitman fan. I don't know, I kind of enjoy the gameplay mechanics and all that stuff. There's a couple of really sort of funny things about Hitman that I just have to kind of bring up. Have you guys either played any of the Hitman series?
No.
I have not played any Hitman.
Okay, so basically the idea is it's a stealth game. Well, it can be a stealth game if you want to play it easily. And basically you go around and you have to eliminate targets and hide the bodies and try not to get caught while you accomplish a bunch of objectives. The funny thing about Hitman Absolution is that the main place you hide bodies is in, like body-sized bins. So like trash bins or laundry bins or any other sort of bin that's a body size. The funny part about Hitman Absolution is they're everywhere. Like there's an abnormal amount of body-sized bins in every single level.
Convenient.
So Yeah, you'll be like in a strip club and you have to kill a guy, and you'll go into a private dancing room to kill him and turn around and there's a garbage bin in the private dancing room. So, yeah, it's kind of an interesting, yeah.
Makes you wonder what they do in that private room that requires such a large bin.
I don't know, but there's a chair, a window, and a garbage bin, like an industrial-sized garbage bin sitting right behind you. It's like, oh, I better dump the body in the garbage bin that's conveniently right behind me. The other things that are kind of funny about it, it's all about disguises as well. So like you kill somebody, take their disguise, and then you can walk sort of undisturbed through bad guys without them noticing who you are. The thing about that is that it's kind of stupid in a way because, for instance, you steal a mechanic's disguise and he's got a welding mask, but you wear the welding mask up, and people can still see who you are, and there's no way to change that. So you'd think if you just flip the welding mask down, you wouldn't get, discovered. And it takes time for the people to kind of realize your disguise as you're wearing it. It kind of makes sense, but the amount of time it takes them to realize it doesn't really sort of correlate with the disguises you're wearing. So if you're dressed as Hitman, they'll notice you faster, but if you're not dressed as Hitman, they'll notice you slower, except if you're climbing a wall and trying to get into someone's bedroom, they still notice you at the same rate. So if you're walking through the street, they'll notice you at the same rate, but if you're like leapfrogging over a whole bunch of people to climb up someone's head to jump into a drug dealer's car, they still notice you at the same rate. It doesn't matter what disguise you're wearing. So, yeah, I don't know. Good game, though. It's fun.
Cool.
Exciting.
And that's my Hitman story.
I remember Martin reviewed that for Splitkick, and he really liked that game. He said it was a really bad start, but it got a lot better as the game progressed.
Yeah, that's what I'm finding as well. The first few levels are pretty slow, and now it's picking up.
Cool.
I just think it's funny that there's bins everywhere.
That reminds me of years ago. For whatever reason, I bought Enter the Matrix on the GameCube. And one of the things that really weirded me out was the prevalence of Powerade vending machines everywhere.
Powerade machines?
Yes. And the one that always threw me off was that I was in this level that's in the middle of a sewer, underground sewer, and there were still Powerade vending machines there. Why?
Wow. That's prominent.
Or it's saying something about Powerade.
Yeah.
It's true. Well, there you go. If you need a video game job, it's a Powerade machine manufacturer in the Matrix universe or an industrial-sized body garbage bin manufacturer in the Hitman universe.
Same person made them.
Yeah, exactly.
Or haystack distributor in the Assassin's Creed games.
Right.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
What are they going to do in Assassin's Creed 4 if presumably a lot of it's on the water? I guess you just jump in the water and you're free.
I kind of hope that there's like a passing by boat that just has nothing but hay in it. So you just jump from the crow's nest onto this boat.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. I wonder.
Time will tell. When's that game coming out?
Which one?
Assassin's Creed 4?
Black Flag?
At the same time as all the other Assassin's Creed games. Not to sound cynical. Yeah, I don't think I'm in no rush to play that one after what happened with 3.
Likewise.
Yeah. Anything else you got going on, Matt? Or
No, that's basically been my one.
all right, Jason, what do you got?
I finished up Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon on the 3DS this past week, and the review is up now on Inside Gaming. You can check that out. We'll probably talk about it more for later on in the show, but good game. I'm really happy to see the series come back because I thought Luigi's Mansion on the Cube was fantastic, and it was really, really unique. So I think that's pretty cool. It's a good game. It's a good game for a 3DS owner to play on the go. So definitely quality title.
Anything else?
What's that?
Anything else?
Yeah. I've been a little off after that with review games, so I popped in Klonoa, Door to Phantom Isle on the PS1. Played that for the first time, and really impressed, actually. That game's pretty freaking great.
Is that
so?
Nice.
What's that?
Is that the first Klonoa?
I believe that is the first one.
Okay.
And it's a I guess it's a platforming game. It's like a platform action game. It kind of reminds me in the look of it as the original Rayman, where it's very high art, and it looks very colorful, like interactive and neat backgrounds. This is on the PS1, but it still looks really, really good. and it's fun. It's also super hard. Like, there's so many like platforming things like where you just die because you jumped and like just didn't time it right, or you jumped into this invisible pit and missed where you needed to land. And it reminds me of old games because, you know, it is old. But man, like, there's so many times I just threw my controller like, oh my god, like what is going on here? So, but it's fun. It's a nice title, and I think I'm almost done with it. So it's relatively short, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's a fun one. I would recommend getting it. It's kind of hard to find now, but definitely worthwhile.
Cool.
Hopefully you get a review up soon.
All right, I guess it's just me then. I've been playing
Just you.
some things. I guess no point in talking about... Well, we'll save that for later in the show. I picked up Punch-Out! Hot new jam on the Wii U Virtual Console for 30 cents.
Nice.
And
Oh, nice.
so that game is still awesome. I don't know if you guys have played that recently, but
Heck yeah, man. That game's great.
it's one of the most influential games in my life, especially as a youngin', and it was one of the first games I really got addicted to, and just a lot of great memories of...
But so hard, though.
Yeah. I still have never beaten Mike Tyson / Mr. Dream. Can't do it.
Yeah,
I don't know if
me neither.
anybody has.
I've
Yeah,
seen people do it. My cousins could beat Mike Tyson, and it's crazy because they were like 8 years old at the time, slaughtering Mike Tyson, and to this
Wow.
day, I still can't do it.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try.
I don't even know if they could do it now, but 8-year-old selves back then, they could do it.
Now, you're not talking about the remade Punch-Out. You're talking about the original, like, 8-bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike Tyson is an absolute monster. One of the most ridiculous bosses of all time.
Agreed.
One of the things I love about Punch-Out! Is that, I mean, that last boss code is very prevalent, and they made that code publicly available, like, hey, here's how you skip straight to Mike Tyson. And so a lot of people probably thought, I'm just going to skip to the last boss and beat it. And if you've never played Punch-Out! Before and skipped to Mike Tyson, forget about it. There's no chance in hell you will ever beat him.
Exactly.
And I am hard pressed to think of any other game where you could skip to the last boss, but would not have the tool set to beat him because you didn't play the rest of it and learn how to play it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. At least you like even in like Metroid or something, you have a chance of making it.
Mm-hmm.
But you like when Tyson like wiggles his arm or like his eye or whatever and gives you that uppercut, gone. Like the game is over. So it's not even a chance.
I think there's like 30 or something one-hit opportunities for him in that match. If you miss one, you're done.
Yep.
You know, so.
But now it's like
Dark
now
Souls
it's like a legend. I mean, everyone knows about it now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Well, there's people to this day on YouTube still beating it. Like, you know, it's YouTube video worthy still, you know, how many years later.
yeah, one of the most legendary bosses of all time in video games.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever play the sequels?
Yes, Super Punch-Out! Is one of my favorite games. I've played a ton of that game back in the day. I used to just, I don't know, fire it up all the time and play it to the end. And that one I could beat. And I
Yeah, me
beat
too.
regularly. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that one was
I
great.
think
That was
it's-
such a good follow-up.
Yeah, I thought it was such a great follow-up, but it just did not catch on like the original.
No.
And the Wii...
Which is sad because, I mean, in many ways, I think the second one's kind of better.
Yes, it
like,
is.
It's just not as memorable like you said, but it's a super good game.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Who was your favorite guy to fight against?
Oh, man. Trying to remember. Like, Bob Charlie and Dragon Chan stand out.
Yeah, Dragon Chan. You know, it's so sad. I could give like every name of those characters. I played it so much.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can't
man.
remember all of them. I know Nick and Rick Bruiser, I think.
Yeah, they were the end guys.
Yeah.
I liked I think it was it Narcissus Prince?
Oh, yeah.
The like guy, he wouldn't let you punch his face, but when you punched his face, he
Yeah.
would just flip out.
That was the
awesome.
like drunk guy, right? Wait, no,
No, he
that's the
wasn't
pretty
drunk.
Boy. Yeah.
Yeah, the pretty boy,
It
yeah.
was the Irish guy that was, and he would like try and grab you.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Oh, man.
I'm watching a guy do a speed run through it right now on YouTube.
You know, speaking of speedruns, I remember when we, Jet, you'll know this, when you beat a character, when you win a match, it gives you a speed ranking, like, for each character.
Mhm.
So, you know, you can see how fast you won. And I remember my brother playing it, and he beat, was it Piston Hurricane?
Okay.
One of the early guys in 6 seconds.
Wow.
And then the same little playthrough, he beat Dragon Chen in 7.
Wow.
I know. It was nuts. And oh man, like I remember that so vividly because Phil was just so happy to be able to do it so fast. It was so awesome. and because the game is all about patterns. Once you know that pattern, it's over for them.
Other things I've been playing, Ridiculous Fishing. That's the iOS game that seems to be getting a lot of buzz, or at least was getting a lot of buzz a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't know if it's worthy of all of the praise that it's gotten. It's fun, and I'm playing it and enjoying it. I think it coasts along on its premise of just like, hey, catch these fish and then fling them in the air and shoot them with a big gun. And
what more do you need?
Yeah, I mean, when I heard that, like, sold, here's my $2. It's cool. I'm having fun with it. It has been my alternative to Street Fighter when I need something to play on the iPhone, so I'll give it that. And I really like the leveling up mechanic. It's just, I mean, you earn coins and you get a bunch of power-ups, but the power-ups are really smart. Just a smart way of adding more to that experience. So that one's cool. And, I mean, there's one game I'll say for the topic of the week, and this other one I've been playing, a little game called BioShock Infinite. I don't know. You guys may...
Yes.
So jealous.
Is this
me too.
where you guys, like,
Me
plug
too.
your ears and I just tell you guys how amazing it is?
Yeah, I'm just going to hang up.
Yeah, I guess we should talk about it on the show, but I kind of don't want to.
Just don't spoil anything.
Okay. Well, man.
In 5 words or less, how is your experience so far?
Awesome.
Nice.
And
Nice. That's it.
no, it is in a lot of ways the game that I wanted BioShock 2 to be. And for that I really enjoy it. Just that it is a lot like the first BioShock game, but in a very different setting with different characters and kind of a different take on that angle, as opposed to BioShock 2, which is kind of just go back and do the same thing over again.
Yeah.
And it's just such a... I'm a couple of hours in, and I really enjoy the story, and everything... Well, almost everything just feels super natural about the experience.
It's awesome.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
I mean, the game, from like trailers and previews, the game visually looks amazing. I'm assuming it is.
I'm playing it on the 360. I know that's not the most ideal way to play it, but I think it looks incredible on the 360.
Yeah.
The 360 apparently is the worst of them all, as far as graphics go.
Damn. If I had known that, I would have picked up the PS3 version. Damn it.
Yeah, apparently the PC, it's the difference between the PC and the Xbox is the textures. Apparently on the Xbox, the textures are dumbed down for the memory size. And on PC, they're like full bore.
Makes sense.
So-
Xbox getting old.
Yeah.
Well, it's a huge game too, though, right?
True.
Yeah. It's,
You said on Xbox, is it more than one disc?
No, it's one disc.
Just the one? Okay. Wow. So are you going to have it beat by the time this comes out? It's going to be beat?
Maybe. I will play through it at a natural pace, which is basically any chance I can get. So I will probably power through that in the next few days for sure. And at
Nice.
some point we'll talk about it in more detail. I know Aaron wants to organize a Split Kick Spoils episode where we can like talk about all the story details and stuff. So
Nice.
yeah, you guys can join in on that too
I'd love to.
once you get around to it. Are you guys planning
So-
on picking that up right away, or at least?
As soon as I humanly can. Yes.
Yeah, I'd say, like, as long as I'm not too busy with moving, I'm thinking I might try to get it when I have, like, a 2-day span off and just power through the whole thing.
All right, cool.
So, wait, one question.
Okay.
Would you say it's the best game you've played for, I don't know, a large amount of time, like in a long time?
It is a great game. I don't know if I
Okay.
can say the best game in a long time because I've played some amazing games, but I can say that this is so far pretty amazing.
Gotcha. Well, okay, let me rephrase. Then what was the last game before this one that made you feel what BioShock makes you feel?
Ooh. Well, like, In what sense?
Like, when I am really enjoying a game, it's hard for me to put down. I think about it when I'm not playing, and I just kind of replay scenes in my mind because they're so cool. Like, do you feel that way about this one, or no?
Yes. I do think about this one. But the last game I would say that made me feel that way is Fire Emblem, but that's a very different, very different reasons why that game captivated me.
Still, though, I think it qualifies. Yeah. Nice.
Oh, man. What else? Yeah, I shouldn't go there. It's cool. There, you shoot things, and there's a girl named Elizabeth that you have to meet up with.
Get out of here.
Damn it.
Yeah.
The whole game's ruined.
All right, let's move on to the Bosscast topic of the week.
Dun, 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 dun.
And I don't know if anyone's noticed, but the 2-year anniversary of the 3DS just happened.
Woo!
It did, indeed.
And we thought it would be interesting to talk about because at the 1-year anniversary mark, it would have been discussion of doom and gloom and, oh, this thing was priced way too high and I got screwed over by buying a 3DS early and all I get in exchange is these free downloadable games and there's nothing to play on it and 3D's dumb and...
Pretty much all the points right there.
It's the second year, it seems to be a lot better. It is selling well. There's a lot more games to play, and
price is a
lot better.
Right.
And everyone thought the Vita would crush it, and well,
nope.
No.
Microsoft, or not Microsoft. Nintendo's 2-0 against Sony. Well, handheld at least.
You guys wait for that X-Boy.
X-Boy.
X-Boy is going to change the game once and for all.
I'm sorry, X-Boy just does not sound right.
All right, so I mean, let's start from the beginning. Nintendo has the 3DS on top of the world, or not the 3DS, the DS on top of the world. One of my favorite systems of all time. Just so many amazing games on it. And the follow-up is basically that system, except now with 3D. And at the time, 3D was at least considered by the major corporations as the next big thing.
Yeah.
Did you guys... I don't know, did you guys think this was going to be... The 3D part of it was going to be a big deal? Or are you guys even interested in 3D in general?
Well, I have a little bit of a... I don't know, I have a bit of a disagreement with your qualifier. I think the 3DS is not the same as the DS. It's not a DS with 3D. I think the 3DS really does improve the hardware.
Okay.
But... that being said, the 3D wasn't a big seller for me. Mm-hmm. Like, I saw it and I thought that would be cool, and it's neat that Nintendo was able to do that, but I didn't care. Just because the DS had such a great library of games and gameplay, as long as they did that again and made it look way nicer, that's all I really cared about.
To clarify my statement, what I meant by the 3DS was the same as the DS was that similar form factor, it's 2 screens, it plays games, the obvious upgrades of a better OS and better graphics, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And the key differentiator was 3D.
Right.
Which turned out to be really not that much of a differentiator at all. I mean, I played it with the 3D on maybe 5% of the time.
Yeah, if that.
And, you know.
I think the 3D is great, and I think it looks cool, but it's still really gimmicky. Like, no one has really... Okay, no, I'll get into it later. No one has really done it greatly except Nintendo, and I say that now because going back to Luigi's Mansion, that game uses 3D really effectively, and it uses that when that 3D slider's turned on. I mean, it's cliche to say, but everything really pops out. Like, you can see the depth of the room you're in. Like, papers on the ground when they lift up, they just look better when they're getting sucked into your vacuum, and that makes 3D look really cool. And it doesn't alter gameplay, but it looks really neat, and it makes nothing else looks like that. And that's a really neat aspect of that system, and only that one can do. Mm-hmm. But yeah, other than that, I don't think it's utilized that much.
Yeah, one of the things I think that hinders the 3D is the fact that it's totally optional. Nintendo could have made the system in a way where you had to have 3D on it, and then developers could make 3D mandatory features, but because you can't, and there's also people that can't see the 3D effect at all, and then they don't want little kids seeing stuff in 3D and fear that it'll mess up their eyes, that it just ends up becoming a gimmick.
Yeah.
Right.
By necessity, so that in a way is kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. They banked big on this being enough of a selling point, and it kind of didn't work out that way.
Yeah, but I think the DS had such a strong backing anyways that the 3DS was going to be successful to some degree. It's just unfortunate it didn't work out the way Nintendo thought it would.
Yeah, so 3DS comes out, and I don't know, when did you guys pick up your 3DS?
Launch.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I went launch and they were sold out, so I had to go a week later, but
Oh.
I guess you can say launch.
Yeah, they did not sell out here at all. I just walked into a Walmart and they had stacks of them.
Yeah, as did
And
I.
yeah, so I grabbed my 3DS with a copy of Super Street Fighter 4.
Likewise.
That's what I got mine with,
Oh.
too.
Yep, all of us.
Same game.
What did you guys
Yeah.
think of Super Street Fighter 4 on the 3DS?
You know.
I would say it was easily the best launch game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, that's not taking any, compliment because there were crap launch games.
Yeah.
The only other game I know that came out was, I think it was a Bust a Move and that Steel Diver game.
Yep, Steel
And
Diver.
I'm not playing either of those ever, so Street Fighter wins.
Mhm.
Yeah, I maybe because I am a hardcore Street Fighter player, but I just could not stand controlling the characters with the circle pad or the D-pad on it.
Yeah.
It just did not feel right for that game. And that really drove me nuts.
Yeah.
I play Street Fighter a lot on a pad, and I thought it was nice. I think that I didn't like the shoulder buttons and how they worked, mainly because there wasn't two shoulder buttons on each side, so there's not four shoulders that I'm used to when I play on a pad, and that really threw me off. So you had to get used to it.
Yeah, it wasn't really a criticism of the game itself, it was just more the system, unfortunately. One of the design choices that drove me nuts was that the touchscreen could be used for special moves.
Oh my lord!
But when you pick Guile and you could just touch the screen and throw
Yep.
sonic booms at will without charging, it's dumb. Unbelievably
Cheap.
dumb. Especially since they solved that problem in Street Fighter 4 on the iPhone where you still had to charge and then hit the special move button. And it would do the rest. But I don't know why they didn't do that here. So when you would play online, everyone would just pick Guile and spam sonic boom. And flash kicks. I could still beat these people, but it was just annoying as hell.
I still like the game. I mean, it was fun.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't say it's the best version of Street Fighter 4, but
No.
I would say it's the best version of a portable Street Fighter 4. Because I think it's better than the iPhone. No?
Well, I mean, just because of the iPhone's lack of controls.
I actually
True.
control the iPhone game better than the 3DS one. But they're
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Even on the virtual
Yeah.
stick?
Virtual stick, not a
Nice.
problem in that game.
That's skills.
Maybe I'm just more used to it, but
Mm.
if I had to pick one of the two, I would pick the iPhone game any day of the week.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, for me, I got Super Street Fighter 4, and I did not pick up anything for a long time.
Yeah.
I got Pro Evolution Soccer after that.
Okay.
Just to kind of have something to play on the go. And it's funny because I only used the 3D to show people that it had 3D.
Yeah, same.
Other than that, I turned it off. They're like, "Oh, what are you playing?" I go, "Oh, here, look, you can play it in 3D." I turn it on. They go, "Oh, that's so cool looking." And I'd be like, "Yep, turn it off. Keep playing."
Yeah, I'm
I
trying.
think go on.
Sorry. I'm trying to think, what else did I buy or play for the 3DS in 2011? I don't think I picked up anything after that.
I know I had a few review games that I had to work on, but I think the first game I bought that I really wanted to buy was Zelda. The Ocarina of Time. I think that was still 2011, wasn't it?
No, I don't think so. I think that was the following
Really?
year.
No, I think that was 2012.
Okay. Well, regardless, I know that was still the one that Okay, so a year later, this game came out that was good.
Yeah.
And even so, it's still just a remake.
Yeah, just a remake. I think, I didn't buy any other 3DS games, but I did cash in that, what's it called, the 3DS Ambassador stuff, and got
Yeah.
all of
Yeah,
those
me too.
games. So I played through Fire Emblem again, and that was amazing, and didn't really play much of the other ones. It was either games...
I played Wario Land. That was a good one.
I
Yeah.
haven't played that one. It's mostly Fire Emblem. I played some WarioWare because that is another one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was it. My 3DS was collecting dust mostly in 2011.
Yeah, it was pretty sad. I mean, Nintendo kind of dropped the ball there. So, but what do you guys think about the ambassador program? Like, just Nintendo doing it all together? Yes, is it a good idea?
Sure. I don't know if it necessarily won any goodwill with me, but I sure took the games and played them and enjoyed them, and it stopped me from forgetting about the system completely. Oh, I do remember another game I played in 2011. Super Mario 3D Land.
Yeah, that was
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and
good one.
That game was fantastic, and arguably the best use of 3D.
Yeah, that is still pretty good.
On it, that...
It's also one of the best Mario games I played in a long time.
Yes.
Maybe since, like, Galaxy. It's really good.
And it's just, I love how creative it was, and every single level felt different, and had its own unique twist to it, and the 3D was really smartly done, and I just had a blast. And one of the coolest things is that game doesn't really start until after you beat it.
Yeah, exactly.
Where that whole second world of just throwing the rules out the window, and they just throw the most insane levels at you. Amazing.
And you're like, what? Because you're playing it, and super fun.
Cool.
I think Mario Kart came out at the same time, didn't it?
Was
that late 2011, Mario Kart 7? That's a good one.
Possibly. I have not played that one. I've played a little bit at demo stations, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I played it and went, yep, that's a Mario Kart game, and...
That's perfect.
I just was not in the market for a Mario Kart game at the time.
Yeah.
What else were you guys playing around that time in, I guess, the dark ages of the 3DS?
Honestly, not that much.
Yeah. I remember picking up, I didn't pick up, I downloaded Link's Awakening on the Virtual Console.
Nice.
That was fun, because I never actually played that one. But, I mean, again, now I'm playing a Game Boy game on this 3DS, so it's like 4 generations worth of consoles. But, yeah, that's the only other thing I remember laying down in the middle of summer and playing in my room.
Did you guys get to do much in the way of street passing?
I took it with me, I forget where I was, I went to a bunch of expos that year, and I don't remember really finding anybody. Like, you pass people, and then there was those games that were built in that utilize the street pass, and you get coins and all that stuff.
Find me.
Yeah. I don't know. I took it places, and you'd get the odd person, you'd open it up, and there'd be the odd person there, but I just don't think enough people had them.
Yeah, that first year, definitely not. I remember I got the 3DS, I think it was the week after I went to PAX East. So, no one had them at PAX, but there was plenty of DSs. And then I remember thinking, this will be great when the 3DS comes out and you can do all these street passes. And I ended up going to this board game convention in Indy in August of 2011. Yeah. And yeah, like Matt said, there was like a spare person here or there, or I'd tag the same person like twice. And yeah, it really wasn't quite what I was expecting.
No, and I think that was sort of the crutch of that whole service, is like you need it to take off from the beginning in order for it to actually take off.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
And not enough people bought them at launch, and not enough people utilized that. And I think that whole street pass thing just kind of dithered, and, withered and went away. There's somebody on Facebook today that was like, "Hey, here's my Nintendo ID. Someone add me."
LOL.
It's like,
no one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the sooner that friend codes disappear, the better. But I think we're stuck with them on the 3DS, at least for now. The Wii U doesn't have them, but adding friends on there is not easy either.
It's at least it's easier to play now on the 3DS, and I'm sure the Wii U with other people. Mm-hmm. Not quite as hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to transition into the talk about the second year of the 3DS.
All right.
Because it's so much better.
2012, where things kicked off for me, and this isn't really... I don't think this is the start of the second year, but Kid Icarus Uprising. I got it as a gift for my birthday. And yes, it does cramp your hands, but you can work around it, and if you can work around it, the game is incredible. It was so funny, and I wasn't expecting that. Just, like, really tongue-in-cheek humor. It was really smart, and just the action was incredible. Yeah. It was a lot of fun to blaze through that game. And for a couple of weeks, I just could not put it down.
Totally. The voice acting was good and everything.
Absolutely. I don't know if you guys played much of that multiplayer. It was actually neat.
I didn't really get into the multiplayer.
I've sadly not played the game at all.
Oh, dude, you're missing
I know.
out. You're the
I know.
Yeah, you are.
you're the 3DS expert of this trio.
I am,
here.
and I haven't played this one. I don't even have my second stick. But
The second stick does. Oh, the second stick has to
Yeah.
be.
The Frankenstick.
Yeah,
Frankenstick.
Frankenstick has to be one of the most hilarious peripherals of any system ever.
yeah, it's
Absolutely.
goofy.
And I can't wait to see the 3DS XL with a Frankenstick on it.
Oh my god, why would they not include that? Like from the beginning. I mean, they literally
something's
made the
off with
peripheral and then made the new console. It didn't include it. Like what?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so stupid. I just don't know why they would do that.
Something we probably should have covered. Do you guys have regular? I guess you have regular 3DSs, but any
Yeah.
plans on getting an XL?
No.
No, I'm not really a believer really in buying it again.
Mm.
If I
I mean,
were
if I
to
wanted
get
a
any
suitcase, I'd just buy
other
a suitcase.
3DS, I'd probably pick up the Zelda one just because it looks cool.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. The XL is just too big for me.
True.
It sort of crosses that line.
This isn't portable anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sort of like just morally opposed to it anyway, just simply because it is just a bigger version of the smaller one.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't really add anything. There's no processing. There's no processing power difference. There's no, nothing. It's just screen size and real estate. And if the game looks fine on the small screen, what do I need a bigger screen for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the
It's the iPad to the 3DS.
Yeah,
yeah.
basically.
I mean, I guess it's better if that you have big hands in the form factor, but I have tiny hands, so that was never really an issue for me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we're in year 2. Jason, you want to kick it off, or I guess
Yes.
continue things? So
Yeah. Jet started. I think year 2, it really, there was solid releases every now and then would come out. Like, Kid Icarus was really good, and they started porting some good games. Like I said, Zelda was good. I really enjoyed Tales of the Abyss. It's just a PS2 remake, but still just a port. But man, Nintendo killed it that fourth quarter with those releases last year. There was New Super Mario Bros. 2, Paper Mario. That's just Nintendo. And then Virtue's Last Reward was so good.
Yeah.
The new Professor Layton. There was downloadable titles. I'll throw in Pokemon was in there. They had, that's for the DS, but if you had a 3DS, you played it on there. But man, that Q4 was just so good. I remember having games to review that I wanted to play my 3DS. Like I just didn't care. I needed to play these games. And that was the turning point for me. When I realized that there were 5 solid games that came out in the span of 3 months, I was like, man, this 3DS is just taking off. And then from there, I would kind of look back and be like, yeah, this wasn't a bad year. Like they did a lot of good things. And you go all the way back to, Super Mario 3D Land and Mario Kart 7 and Zelda, and you see there's some really, really solid quality titles on this system, and that's really when it started to look good for me.
Any of you guys play Star Fox 64 on the 3DS?
No, I played it on the 64.
Yeah, me too. And it's actually one of my favorite games of all time, and I've never picked it up on the 3DS. I want to, but didn't get around to
Yeah, I
it.
have a hard time justifying picking it up, but I do love that game on the 64.
Yeah, totally.
But that was a good one too, I guess.
Yeah.
I would say it's another solid title. But yeah, that's when I really started to like it.
One of the games I've been playing most recently, it's an older one, but it is a eShop classic, Pushmo.
Pushmo!
Nice.
Pushmo, that with the puzzle game where you're the dude has to climb up the structures by pushing and pulling blocks to make steps. And it sounds like a really simple concept, and when I started playing it, like, yeah, these are all super easy. And then at a certain point, it just kicks in where it all comes together. It's just like, oh, this is actually really cool.
Heck yeah,
How
it
the
is.
heck do I solve this puzzle? And you noodle around with it. And I am loving that game right now. It's been my go-to Subway game. I've put away Fire Emblem. We'll get to that in a bit. And yeah, just playing Pushmo on the train is a lot of fun.
I think Pushmo is a good example too, that for a game that highlights the 3D effect pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
If you've used it, have you used it or
Yes.
no? Yeah, I think it does well because when you use the 3D, it's kind of, I don't know, it looks good because the puzzle itself is literally in 3D, and then you turn the 3D on and it just looks a lot better. At least that's what I think.
Have you guys bought a lot of games in the 3DS eShop, so that was the first one I've bought, and I would be interested in picking up more, but I don't know what's good and what sucks.
I wrote this topic on here, the eShop and the Virtual Console, because I think Nintendo's doing a lot of good stuff with the eShop and how it's set up. And in terms of games, yeah, I'd say Pushmo and then the sequel Crashmo are probably the two biggest ones that you want to download.
Okay. But
they're really catching my attention with some of the new, I guess you could say indie or not huge mainstream downloadable games. I think today that Harmony Night or whatever comes out, that looks really solid. There's a new like adventure game. It's Dylan's Rolling Thunder or something. Looks really creative and interesting, and like those are really neat. And then on top of that, the Virtual Console for the 3DS is different than the Wii one, but it has steady stream of good games, NES games, Game Boy games, and they're releasing them at a good pace. I mean, I guess it could be faster, but I think it's good. They're developing a solid background of games to download, and I really want to highlight it because I think Nintendo's doing a good job of listing games in the quote-unquote top games and favorites that are actually really good. So if you go there and it's on the bottom of the eShop, it'll say, I don't know, like hot games or top picks, and those games are really quality ones. If you haven't noticed it, if you look at them and you don't know what that game is yet, it's still a really quality game. So that's, whereas like on Xbox, someone probably just bought that space, like to show off Gears of War. And this one, I feel like it's there because it's a quality title.
All right. Cool.
Sorry, that was kind of a long rant.
I'm not sure where to go from here. I mean, I
I'll
could
go.
talk about
I'll go.
Emblem, but
Jay's like, just let me go. I'll just do it.
Because we talked about the Street Pass failing the first year, and that second year, we went back to that same convention in Indy, and Street Pass was just everywhere. And it was super, super cool. And, man, I loved it. Like when this time, I think at the convention there was like 40,000 people. And you're walking around, and you can only store, I think, 10 hits on your 3DS at a time through Street Pass. Mm-hmm. But I would open up my 3DS, have 10, and I would go through them as fast as I could. And by the time I would be done, I'd have 5 more, because that's how many people I'd walk past in like a minute that had them. And it was so, so cool to see so many people, and you'd see other people with their games open, and you'd be like, what are you playing? And it was really neat. And that's gotta be what Nintendo envisioned. And it was, I don't want to say magical because it sounds weird, but it was pretty special. It was a neat feeling to feel like you're part of this special, somewhat elite subculture, and it was really cool. So if you actually get that feeling that Nintendo really wants, you can see why they chose it, because then Street Pass is really cool. So I feel like, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's pretty neat. I loved it. And so for some reason, collecting puzzles is really fun.
Yeah, I guess the last major game that I played to contribute to this conversation would be Fire Emblem Awakening, but we've talked about that game to death on this show.
It's going to be a classic for that system.
Yeah. I beat it for the 4th time, and I took it out because I would just keep playing it over and over again if I didn't. So, yeah. Where do you guys see the system going from here?
You
go, Matt.
I don't know, like, I don't have, I can honestly say that I don't have as much interest as I did when I first bought it. And I think it has to do with the fact that, there wasn't that much for it when I first bought it. And I think I just sort of mentally moved on from it.
Nice.
I haven't really picked up anything for it lately. Yeah, I mean, there was just quite a while that it was just sitting there. So I want to use it more, and I want to play it more, and there's a couple games that I would want to get for it, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to end up going back to it or not. We'll
sad.
See. I know. Plus, I bought a Vita, right? So
right.
There's so much for that.
I have seen another one in the wild. My coworker actually bought one, the one that sits in front of me. So I actually end up seeing the Vita like every day now.
Wow.
He really likes it.
That makes 2 in the wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got PlayStation Plus and pretty much got every good game on it for quote-unquote free.
Yeah, that was the best part. all the good Vita games were on PlayStation Plus.
Do you guys think the Vita will ever become a serious contender against the 3DS?
No.
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 I
mean, the contender's going to be like an iPhone or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just gaming. That's going to be the big competitor for Nintendo.
What other big games are coming up for the system? I know Monster Hunter just came out. Luigi's Mansion just came out.
The new Pokemon will be this year.
Oh yeah, that was kind of a weird move when the 3DS was already out, and then they announced the next Pokemon was for the DS, kind of around the time when the 3DS probably could have used the new Pokemon.
Yeah. I think it makes sense though, just because that install base is so much bigger on the DS, so can't really fault them for that. But yeah, XY looks really great.
What's different about it than the other ones? Or is that a trick question?
Exactly. I think visually it's more 3D-ish, I think. Of course, new Pokemon, new storyline, new battle animations, I don't know.
Is there going to be
crap.
8 gyms?
Probably. I don't know, as long as I can get a Pidgey. Yeah. Don't really care.
The last time I played Pokemon anything, I'm not a Pokemon guy at all, was Pokemon Stadium for the Nintendo 64. And this was a couple of years ago, and Steph and I were playing against each other with just the base Pokemon that are available. You can unlock it if you have the transfer pack and your Game Boy game plugged in, but we don't have any of that stuff. And we discovered that Raichu is crazy overpowered in that game. I would just spam, I can't remember, it's one of those psychic attacks that stuns another Pokemon. I can't remember what it's called. But I would just keep spamming that, I'd stun them, and then just kill them off. And to this day, she still gets mad at me for using Raichu like that. And, yeah. I constantly bring up just Raichu top tier.
Top tier.
I don't actually know if he is, but in that one fateful day, he totally was.
Nice.
I think we're forgetting Animal Crossing coming out.
Oh, Animal Crossing! Yeah.
That could be huge.
Well, it could.
I don't know. I mean, Animal Crossing Wild World on the DS was great, and I think it was a really, really good
It was a very
good
game. I have such a love-hate relationship with that series. The GameCube version almost destroyed my life with how much I ended up playing it. And then I played the DS one, and I really enjoyed it, but it was kind of the same game, and then the Wii one came out, and that was really the same game.
Yeah.
And just they changed so little about it, and there's so many places they could go with that series, and they go nowhere. At least I find.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what they've changed in this 3DS version to make it different from the other ones, but yeah, I'm not really looking forward to it, but I hope I am wrong and it is amazing, and I would gladly pick that up.
To go back to your question about where it's going in the future, I think it's kind of developing a sort of niche following too in role-playing games. So if you're an RPG player, I think 3DS is a great system. I mean, yeah, you can include Animal Crossing, but the new Shin Megami Tensei game, the remake that's coming out for the 3DS, I am hoping to God that they give us the 3DS remake of Dragon Quest VII, because that'd be great. And then there's Rune Factory 4 is coming out. There's so many other good ones that are already out that it's, Monster Hunter, like you just said, that, yeah, that's so good. Like for an RPG fan, you play a game for maybe a month, solid, and then there's a brand new, just as good one coming out. So that's fantastic for an RPG player. So I think if you like RPGs, Final Fantasies, you gotta get it because it's so good for that. So I could see it writing that a lot.
Sorry. At a certain point, do you think that mobile gaming and iOS and stuff cut the life of the 3DS short?
I want to say no, but I feel like it's a big money issue, and money is pretty important to a lot of people. And I don't think gameplay will ever be the same between the two. 3D notwithstanding. I think that the 3DS offers you a full quality experience, the Vita too, that you just don't see on iDevices or Androids or whatever, mobile devices. Yeah. And I think that that's something that if, say, the 3DS and the Vita are the last two dedicated portable consoles, I think we as a gaming culture will be really shorthanded. We'd be missing something. And that's something that an iPhone, at least now, just cannot emulate.
Yeah. And I mean, if you look at the graphics, the graphical capabilities in the iPhone, it's already sort of leaps and bounds above the 3DS.
Yeah.
And yet the 3DS is still selling. It's still a viable console. So I don't know. I mean, I don't see the graphics getting that much better on mobile devices.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I don't know. I think they're already at a point where if it was going to overtake it, it would already be drastically overtaking it. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I just checked. It looks like there's almost 30 million 3DSs out there, and that's pretty huge. Like, 30 million is a great viable market, and yeah, there's plenty more phones, but see, like, the reason I think it comes down to money is like someone like you, Jet, that you bought Ridiculous Fishing for $2, and then now you might be done with it after, let's say, a week. So, that's $2 more you can give to someone else for a new game. Whereas I'm a lot more prone to buy Luigi's Mansion and then play it for a long time because I invested more money, and then I won't buy more stuff. So, yeah. I don't know. Like, I hope we don't shift to that sort of smaller game thing. I mean, I love to pay less money, but I don't want to get a less quality game.
Yeah.
It would break my heart if we didn't get any more portable Fire Emblem games.
Yeah.
That's just really all I'm keeping this thing for.
Fire Emblem.
Just be thankful you're not getting Fire Emblem on mobile, where it's like, if you want to do this attack, pay 99 cents.
Yes. No.
Microtransaction based Fire Emblem.
I could totally see how that would work too. Of just like, if you want to use the ultimate sword.
Yeah. So I saw a picture online today of the old, the Super Mario Brothers warp tubes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was basically Mario running over them. It was like warp tube 3, 4, and 5. It's like, if you want to use these warp tubes, please, 99 cents for this one, 99 cents for the next one. It's like Visa accepted. It's like that was what it would be if Super Mario was made today.
Oh, that's gross.
It's sad. Yeah. That's what's going to happen if Nintendo goes to no more dedicated consoles. That's what we can expect. Microtransaction Mario.
Microtransaction future. Have you guys seen the Gears of War multiplayer suite in Judgment? Or lack thereof?
No.
The game comes with 4 maps.
4?
Yeah. Really?
It's only 4.
And the rest are downloadable?
They promise there's going to be a bunch of downloadable content.
Well, because it sounds like they didn't finish the game.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, there is a season's pass for it. And they do promise that more multiplayer maps will be part of it. But 4 maps? Are you kidding me?
That's pretty weak.
Yeah, that's really weak.
That's a very weak offering.
How many were in the, 1 and 2? There's got to be more than 4.
Way more than 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 is paltry and just so obvious that they're going to just try and sell you the rest of it piecemeal.
Oh, yeah.
When they would have given you it all in full before. It's gross.
Mm-hmm.
Tis.
Yeah, but this is where things are going, so... Grumble.
Stupid money. Causing problems.
Do you guys see a way that mobile gaming could ever depart from that sort of trend?
Oh, man. If we all become gajillionaires...
Yeah, or we all just become poor and don't buy
other
them.
than that.
Yeah, I don't know. That is such a viable model for the large majority of consumers who aren't hardcore gamers like us, who would much prefer to just get a free game, and if they want to throw in $1 or $2, we'll totally do it. And it just makes a lot of sense for now and for going forward. It's just... I guess it means that we would get less bigger quality experiences like the ones offered on the 3DS.
Right.
Yeah.
I think a little bit different of a subject, but I think how you can, in some games, like, buy things that you would otherwise have to earn through gameplay, I think that's okay, but I would almost want to see a sort of optional segregation of this. So I don't know, because, I understand people need, it's a business. Gaming is a business, and people need to make money. But say you're playing the new Call of Duty, and you can get this cool loadout if you pay $5. Or you can play the game for 50 hours. And I just feel like maybe if they would make, do that, and that's fine, but make a 1 or 2 servers, however many they need, where it's just, non-money microtransaction players only or something, then it might be okay, but then you're not fixing the problem. You're just creating a separate market, and it's, I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is I don't see it ever going away, which is bad, in my opinion.
Mm. And
I mean, even in MLB, you can go out in the PlayStation Network and buy points packages. So you can either play the game and level your Road to the Show character up, or you can just go buy a whole bunch of points and make them ridiculous.
I'm not going to lie. See? When I played NBA 2K13, I saw that pack of 20,000 experience points and thought, man, my dude sucks really bad right now. I could just throw down the $2 and make him be so much better.
Yeah, I was guilty of it on MLB 12 on the Vita. I totally bought the, whatever it was, 6,000 point pack. Sometimes you just
that's
so tempting.
Is that really a bad thing then? If you got what you wanted out of it?
Yeah, totally. I guess I'm making a bad argument against it. But I mean that's the thing though. Like that's a totally optional. I mean, if you want to just sort of forego the hours and hours and hours and just level them up, that's an option. What I'm against though is where they sell you a quarter of a game and then make you pay for the rest of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So here's a taste of it. And if you want more energy or if you want more weapons or ammo, then you have to pay. It's like, well, that's not what I signed up for. You know what I mean?
Pretty shady business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's only, right now, Fire Emblem is the only 3DS game with microtransactions in it, right?
Yeah. And even then they're of course optional, but yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I don't know if the 3DS is going to be a hotbed of microtransactions.
No, but I say kudos for Nintendo for putting them in there.
Yeah.
I mean, and
I guess in the same breath we're trashing microtransactions, you just gave them kudos for putting them in there.
Yeah, but no, but you got to think, like, Fire Emblem is a complete game. Mm-hmm. It's not what Matt's getting at. Like, Fire Emblem feels complete, and all the added stuff, it's not a real ending. The game ends, and it's satisfying. And so now it's actually still DLC. It's not, random stuff, just to, not give it to you before. You feel like
you need to buy them.
So.
Yeah. Like, that's, I guess, my point is, like, you should never feel like you have to buy them in order to succeed at the game. Mm-hmm. Right. It should be an option if you, don't want to put it, if you're lazy, basically, you don't want to put in the time. That's fine. But you should never feel like you have to. You have no choice but to buy them if you want to do well at the game.
Totally agree.
So the 3DS, it's a cool system. Jason's going to play a lot more of it. Matt, maybe not.
Yeah, I still play it. I just probably, it's not my go-to system.
I mean, I know you guys both enjoyed that Castlevania game recently, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I can't wait for the sequel.
Maybe it'll be just the ending of the first game.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, good lord. Don't end on that. Say something else.
And on that note.
No. No. Oh, my God.
How about we end with your favorite 3DS game of
all time?
All 3DS games.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure Jet's going to be Fire Emblem, so I'll stay away from Fire Emblem. Cool. I really, really liked Super Mario 3D Land. That game is really good.
That would be my number.
Solid platforming, really colorful, really fun, super fun. It has that sort of Nintendo magic feel.
Yes.
So I would say so far that's probably my favorite.
Best Mario game in a long time, and one of the best ever, I would say. I would go that far for 3D Land.
No, I'd say the same thing.
Yeah.
In the top 10 Mario games of all time.
You were going to say Zero Escape. Jet?
Sorry, say that again?
No, I was going to say Jet. What's yours?
Yeah, Fire Emblem. Hands down.
Oh, it is Fire Emblem. Okay. I don't know. I'd probably have to go with Super Mario Brothers as well. I'd say it's probably one of the most complete games.
Yeah.
On the 3DS.
Satisfying.
And it's one of those games where you can just take it anywhere, play it for, a short amount of time, long amount of time. You just have fun with it.
Is there any games you are looking forward to? Last question.
I'm looking forward to Animal Crossing. That could be pretty cool. I think I'm ready for another one.
Isn't there a Mario golf game coming up?
Yeah, World Tour.
That one I'm excited for.
That looks pretty cool. Mario Golf
There's
is actually
always a
super
Mario
fun.
Golf game coming up.
And one of the things I love about Mario Tennis was a pretty straightforward game, but Mario Golf on the original Game Boy, was it the original Game Boy or the Game Boy Advance, the one with the RPG mechanics?
Game Boy Advance.
Yes, that game was incredible.
Yes.
And I loved
Leveling up swings and slices
Yes.
and all that.
So great. And I mean, I love regular Mario Golf as is, but when they added that RPG mechanic on it, just over the top.
Sold.
Yeah,
Yep.
if they have that in there, I will buy that day one.
Me too. Totally.
Because nothing makes golf better than RPG mechanics.
Exactly.
Totally. They go
Yes.
hand in hand, really.
Tiger Woods Quest 15.
That's what I was just thinking. I was like, Tiger Woods, next game, he's going to have, complete this challenge to increase your putting ability.
Yeah. Or it'll just be microtransaction based.
No. Are you looking forward to anything, Matt?
I'm looking at a list here, and there's a game called Jet Rocket 2. Jet, maybe you should be.
I heard the first one was alright.
And Jason, April 25th, apparently Mega Man 4 is making its debut.
Oh, yeah,
on,
the 3D,
3DS.
the eShop. Strange enough, Mega Man 4 is the only one I actually own on the NES.
Well, there you go.
Well, the best one's 3, so don't speak blasphemy on the show.
For another episode, I
Yeah.
guess.
2's better than 3.
No, it's
And
not.
Jason, what's you got going on?
I'm offended. How could you say that? 3 is so good.
3 is so good, but 2 is better.
Ugh.
Oh, it's a good thing you guys are in different countries.
Yeah, exactly. There's a border just separating us. Oh, man.
Next time on the Bosscast, Mega Man 2 versus Mega Man 3.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How about tell us what you think? Email us at bosscast@splitkick.com. Which one's better, Mega Man 2 or
Yeah,
Mega
2 or
Man
3.
3?
It's not even a question. It's clearly 3.
Get out of town.
Snake Man is in 3.
Bubble Man theme music.
The
dragon.
Top Man is in 3, and he has the best ending for the entire game. Like the move to use it.
Metal Blades, best move in the series.
Touche. Magnet Man's level is amazing.
All of the levels in Mega Man 2 are amazing.
That's a cop-out. You know what's funny? I'm looking at this poster of all the Robot Masters, and I'm just looking at them like, yeah, it's a good one. Mega Man 3 has a guy named Hardman. Game over.
Wow. Game, set, match.
Oh, and his move is the hard knuckle, and you shoot a giant fist out of your gun.
Airman sucks.
Wait, is that like literally or?
Yeah, I was like, he's in Mega Man 2.
Yes, he is.
Oh. Does he suck? I thought he shot little tornadoes.
Yes, but he also sucks you in.
Yeah.
with the
His
fan.
level's pretty cool.
It is.
Let's just agree that 4 wasn't as good, and that's coming out soon.
Yeah, 4 was not as good.
Yeah. Not nearly. Man, we should just do a Mega Man.
All right,
Yeah.
we'll save that for next time.
Yeah.
I'll write that down on the list of future show topics. But in the meantime, let's call it a night. Jason, what's going on with you?
Nice. Running off of my recent review of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, I threw up on Slick Gaming a sort of why all the hate for Luigi post, and I kind of go over Nintendo's likely reasons for not including Luigi in a lot more games. Pretty fun to write, and you should check it out if you have a little bit of time.
I checked that out. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Jet approved. Go check it out.
Luigi gets no love, so it's sad. And I have a new episode of Game Hunter went up today, actually, and it is all about the Sega Dreamcast. So,
Nice.
my system of choice, super fun to make the video.
I have been interested in picking up a Dreamcast at some point, so maybe I will definitely check it out, and maybe start picking up some Dreamcast stuff someday.
You should. Check out the video, because the Dreamcast's super good system for fighting games.
So I've heard.
Yeah.
But every time I've gone into a store that had a Dreamcast on it, it's always like, here's NFL 2K1 and
Yeah. Those are the fodder games
Sonic
that you
Adventure.
don't want. Sonic Adventure is a good game. That's worthwhile, but if you want to get like Third Strike, you probably want to get it online or something, grab it there. But it's got the Rival Schools sequel.
Project
It's
Justice.
exclusive, Project Justice. And then the Star Gladiator sequel's on there too. Anyways, that's what I got going on.
Cool. Matt?
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie, but I've still got a G.I. Joe article going up this week. Nothing to do with the movie, but everything to do with the hilarious parodies that are on YouTube.
Nice.
The PSA parodies. So that'll be up this week, and new Screaming Ego podcast
Awesome.
as well.
So I've been listening,
Nice.
and you guys have run John through the ringer with all of those tests, failing the Mensa test and the 4th grade test. And I was listening along and going like, man, I couldn't answer any of these questions in either of these tests. You guys are so stacking the deck against them.
Oh yeah, totally. No, we're just basically, we're just, it's almost like humiliating them, but it's all fun.
And aren't you doing the quiz this week too?
I think I might. I don't know. We're gonna do maybe like a twin off.
Twin off.
So we'll see how that goes. But it's all fun. It's
all right. May the better twin win.
Hopefully, maybe we're both just really dumb.
And what's going on for me? Darkstalkers Resurrection review should be going up any day now if it's not already live. Also on Splitkick, there is a whole bunch of PAX East content created by Jim, Ben, Holly, and John, writing about just like all sorts of things they saw at the show and podcasts, and there's some great photos in there. I'm really jealous. I wish I had gone to PAX East, but
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, it didn't get to
So
go.
fun.
So they had a blast, and what else is going on the site? John Wells has a review for the board game Trajan. Jim's review for SimCity went up a little while ago. And what else is coming up? I know Davey Huggs is working on a review or a vault play for Shogun 2 Total War. I know Aaron's working on something for God of War Ascension. Also, you can listen to the Rocket Jump podcast, watch Bits of Reality, Old Game Plus. You can also email us at bosscast@splitkick.com to tell us how much better Mega Man 2 is over Mega Man 3.
Or other way.
No.
The right way.
No, all emails will be ignored.
We'll get like Jet shirts and Jason shirts made and have like a big fight.
Yeah. Mega Man can totally... never mind. Another time.
Before we go, don't forget you can download us on iTunes, subscribe to us on iTunes, and review us on there as well. On Twitter, you can find us at Matty Lang, at Jay Jasicki, at Jet Lendicho, and at SplitKickCom. So till next time, Mega Man 2 is better than Mega Man 3. And we're
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.